Hi, this training video is an introduction to the WordPress admin area. Let's log into the WordPress admin. You'll type your URL with a /WP admin like this. If it's your first time logging in, you'll have to enter your credentials, otherwise you'll end up here or something that looks similar. We have a few extra options here because of plugins. The first area I want to discuss is the media library area. So we click here, this is where all your media files are, PDFs, images, videos, anything like that. If we click on one of these images, you can see it's 1,000 pixels wide, it's a JPEG image, it's 65 kilobyte size. Here's the URL if you wanted to link this image anywhere on, say, a background, title for SEO purposes. We install a WP Smush plugin that optimizes your images automatically. You can actually do a couple things to edit the image here, but you probably mainly want to do that in Photoshop. It's best to bring in your images in working condition, bringing them into WordPress. That way you save some space and confusion. So that's basically the image area. We're going to come back to here, but this is where all of your media ends up in WordPress. Next, we're going to go to posts. These are your blog posts. If you click to all blog posts, it'll show all the blog posts you've created already. Let's try to edit one just to check this out. Open this in a new tab. This is the blog post is HTML. We could also look at this visual area, which may be better for people that don't know any HTML or CSS and aren't familiar with coding. This is how we write our blogs with an image here. This area here is a shortcut when you write your blog and you aren't familiar with coding. We can, for instance, add a headline here. And right now it's a paragraph. But if we wanted to change this to a headline here, we can use any of these headlines. It doesn't necessarily style it this way on your website. It depends on your CSS, but these headlines are more for Google. Heading 1 being more important than heading 6. But if you're looking for a certain styling, you can go to your page, find out what that element is, and use the heading there. We're going to use a headline 3 here, and you can update this. This is where you would either publish or update any of your new posts. You can also view your post from here to see how it looks. So we added that headline here. The reason I did that is because I really want to show you, if you ever do anything, especially if you erase something that you don't remember what you erased. The nice thing about WordPress is under posts and the pages area, basically the menu system that looks like this, there's a revisions. If you hit browse here, we've had 3 revisions on this page, so you can back it up and remove stuff that maybe you accidentally erased or added. And it's kind of a good little backup plan for your blog post and most of your pages. See, that was before we added the H2. We could back it up one more time. And there you go, it's gone. So that's always really handy. It's good to remember that. If you use categories, you can use categories here, tags here. These are basically a system to organize your blog posts. If you have a pretty extensive blog post, you may use this system to give you some more navigation opportunities within your website. This area is your featured image area. A lot of pages you can set this, and this will be your masthead on your website. So you would want to pick an image that's really wide, probably at least at over 1600 pixels, and somewhere between 1600 and 1920 pixels, especially if it's going to stretch across the entire page. So if we want to use that image, you could just click that set featured image, and this would be your masthead. Since it'd be a background image, most mastheads are black background images. It's going to get cut to the ratio of the screen, so it may be there, and as the screen gets smaller, the aspect ratio will change. That's basically how the web works these days. After you're done with all your changes, you can hit update here, and this page will be updated. We're going to try to add a new post. So you can click add new here, or you can click add new here. You want to enter a title. This will come up usually as the headline on your WordPress site. Again, what's nice about WordPress is you could either have this text area. If you are familiar with HTML code, you definitely, if you can write HTML, this is the better area because the code will come out cleaner. If you're not familiar with coding, then you can use this visual area to write out your blog post. Again, it's set to paragraph by default, but you can always change these for your headings just to separate things. This is bold. This can make your text italic. Makes it bolder. This is an italic. If you need a list, you can click here and you'll get a bullet list. Click enter and you get another list. You could press tab and then it'll indent, and you can have a sub item on your bullet. You can also have a numbered list. It's the same thing. These come in handy on your blog posts. Block quote in case you have a quote that you want to put in. We can also align the text. We can align it left. It's left by default. We can align it center or left or right. I'm sorry. If you wanted to add a link, I'll show you how to add a link to your blog. So let's say we want to add a link to Google. So we type in a link. It doesn't necessarily have to be the actual link. It could be anything. This is a link, and we're going to link this whole sentence. So we highlight it, insert a link. Something else really easy to do is go to the website here and just copy this whole line, and we're going to paste it here. There you go, and that's a link. We'll check that in a second. You may also want to add an image. Let's save this Google image. Save that to our computer. We're going to go here and add media. You could easily add something that's already in your library, or you can add something new. Let's do that. You could click the select files, or you could drag and drop it. Here's our Google logo. We're going to upload that. You can align it left, right, or center. Let's align it center. We could also link this to Google. So now we're going to insert that. Not all images have to be links either. We're just going to do this for fun for this image. And there's also sizes. Google will, when you upload a file, Google will break this down into multiple sizes. Let's use the little small. Let's use the thumbnail size, tiny size. Actually, let's use the full size. That's pretty small. So we insert that into the post. There you go. We can preview it before we publish it. There you go. Here's our hello. It's italic and bold. This is a link. No Google image. Let's see what happened there. There we go. There's your Google image. Something else that WordPress is really good at is formatting or styling social media posts or links. This is so let's go to YouTube, for instance, and this also applies to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the main social media sites. Let's say we want to add this video to our post. You know, when you're making blog posts, you know, there may be YouTube videos or things like that, Vimeo videos that are relevant to your post. So you can just go in there. It's easy as copying this link, going back to our post. We can do this in a visual mode. So after our YouTube video, you can just enter that in and bam, it pops up. Beautiful. We can see. Let's try Instagram. Let's say we want this post to pop up. Would copy this URL. There you go. This works for Facebook, anything else. Let's update this and then look at it from the web page. There you go. Here's our YouTube video. Here's our Instagram post. This is really cool. This really makes your WordPress blogs dynamic. Even though you may not be able to code, you can add things like these images and these social media posts, Twitter posts, and it gives a dynamic feel to your WordPress blog. All of a sudden, you know, it looks very professional. All right, next we'll look at pages. So WordPress is broken up into posts and pages. Posts are your blog posts. Pages are most of your other pages on your website, like your regular pages, your about page, contact page. The only exception is your home page. Sometimes your home page is built in widgets, and I'll explain the widgets after this. So let's go back to our admin area. And here are all our pages. We can click our About page, and this is the visual area. And everything is basically the same as the post is. All the same rules apply. One other tip, if you use this text area and you're not much of a coder, but you're looking for something specific, a good rule of thumb is don't touch these tags. These are opening tags, and these are closing. The closing tags have these backspaces. So anything between these tags, if you change the words, it'll show up on the website. But if you break one of these tags, it may cause some style to, it may mess up more than just this part of the site. So always be careful. But then again, if you're dealing with posts or pages, you always have these revisions. Okay, so next is widgets. Now widgets are the areas that contain your sidebars, usually your footer areas, and also sometimes the home page also. So here we have a front page 1, 2, and 3, and inside these little guys, these is all HTML code for home page. Again, we have visual or text, either one. And if you needed to change something, you can do that in your home page here. Or this is our footer area. There's some areas for the footer. This is where our contact information is. And most WordPress sites are built just like this. The only difference is yours has this, and some WordPress sites may be built with a regular home page. Really no difference, just a preference of how you want to build them.